And we're coming to you live from the Built Ford Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network and wherever you are in the free Odyssey app. Good Monday morning. A wild day of football yesterday, as always. The New York Giants, of course, with a really, really tough loss, not only in the win and loss column, but also with Cam Scatterbo losing the rest of his season with just a horrific injury with the dislocation of the ankles. That was very tough. The Jets battle back with a crazy fourth quarter. Just unbelievable the fact that they came back and won that game, and unbelievable that the Bengals somehow blew it. But, of course, the very sad news and shocking news, even though we knew that he had been struggling and looking for a kidney, I didn't think it was as dire. I don't think anybody on the outside looking in knew that it was this dire, but Nick Mangold passing away at 41, one of the great Jets on and off the field. Not a single person out there had any bad things to say about him. He was always around. He was always involved. He was beloved, and he passes away, and we find out yesterday at the age of 41. Just tragic. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Jay. And he leaves behind his wife, Jenny, and 4 kids. And I just, yesterday I sat down just getting to my seat to watch the Bengals and the Jets in person out in Cincinnati. And my nephew goes, I just said, I have some news for you. I was like, what? And he goes, Nick Mangold passed away. And it was like, it just took my breath away. I mean, because 2 weeks ago he was talking about it. We all knew about it. He didn't seem like it was, I knew it was dire because you wouldn't go public unless it was. And they couldn't find a living donor. They couldn't find anybody that could help him. And I often think about, like, the time he was here with Rex Ryan and how he and Brick were like, they were like soldiers together. You know what I mean? Like, they were like right in the middle of that offensive line, and they were all about, being tough and running the rock and the ground and pound, and everybody just thought so highly of him. I mean, this guy, when you think about it, in the 11 years that he played, he made 7 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro teams, 1 second-team All-Pro. I mean, that's Hall of Fame-worthy numbers. And the sadness adds to it, but, I mean, he was a great guy. And I remember being at a Ranger game with him, and the Rangers were playing the Dallas Stars, and he was sitting right behind the Dallas Stars bench. And throughout the entire game, he was yelling at Klingberg, one of the defensemen for Dallas. I think the Rangers ended up winning the game that night. But, he was just such an understated, great guy, and exactly what a center should be, and that was a gut punch yesterday for anybody that knew him, and I'm sure for the entire Jet organization over there at Florham Park had to be really difficult.
Yeah, I saw an interview with him when he came out and said that he was looking for a kidney with some Barstool guys, including Big Cat. And what made me more encouraged about his situation, even though he went public with the kidney, is he looked and sounded well for someone in that situation. I mean, he was laughing. He looked like himself. He had energy. And I was thinking, okay, well, maybe he's got some time here, and, they'll find the kidney for him, and he's going public, and a lot of people know him, and this is going to work out. So yes, even though we knew that things were dire, it was shocking. And of course, I mean, 41 is just it's hard to wrap your
4 children.
4 children. It's just hard to wrap your mind around. And he was just he really did personify that era of Jets football. And this is something we'd say even before this. I mean, he was just that, with the, like you said, the ground and pound and the energy that they had, and just they push you around, and they had an attitude and an edge. And when it came to the defense, had a couple of those guys as well. But yes, I mean, when it came to that offense, I mean, Nick Mangold was a guy, and he stuck around here. He was always around. He was doing stuff. We'd have him on the Super Bowl. He'd be promoting things. He got involved in cooking and things like that. He was just one of those guys that would walk in the room and just you'd feel more positive about anything. So it's just absolutely awful. And I don't know, you're right. When you look, you just take the name off of the stats, and it's not about his stats. It's about, or his career. But we do talk sports here. I mean, yes, it's a Hall of Fame resume with everything that you listed. So hopefully one day his family will be able to watch that induction, that posthumous induction, because I know that would mean a lot for him.
Yeah, I mean, and I was thinking about it. The resume speaks for itself. The person speaks for himself. I mean, like the way he carried himself, never ever involved in anything other than being positive. And you're right. I mean, like I didn't see the show live, but I did see later on Rex Ryan's reaction to it. And that was genuine, man. That was really genuine because he personified Rex Ryan's teams. There were about 8 or 9 guys on those teams that were really just so valuable to the success of those teams. And he was right in the middle of all of it. You remember when Bill Parcells got here, one of the first things he did, he made a trade for a Hall of Fame center by the name of
Kevin Mawai.
Yeah, right, Kevin Mawai. And this was like the next great, like all-pro center that led the team, and those guys they're not a dime a dozen. They're
especially
so
on the
hard
Jets,
to find.
by the way. I mean, you think about it, and I'm not trying to make fun of the organization, but it's few and far between with guys who were here, played their entire career here, and had success, won, beloved, stuck around. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot. I mean, he is one of a handful of those guys that was a great player, is known as a Jet forever, and then you have positive memories about him on and off the field. I mean, you're right. Those guys are not a dime a dozen, especially with the Jets.
Yeah, and it's interesting when the game started yesterday in Cincinnati. I'm assuming that all the players knew. They must have said something, pregame to them. About maybe and I know Cincinnati had a moment of silence before the game yesterday, which was very poignant, and the Jets played like like they were inspired, especially the offense and the way that Justin Fields played, especially after what happened with Woody Johnson the week before, and then Breece Hall was on display for all to see. It's funny talking to a lot of my ex-teammates and sitting there with them and watching. I'm saying like this guy wants to be traded from the Jets. And yesterday he goes out and has one of his best games as a Jet.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those really weird days. You have a really sad situation take hold, and then you have the head coach get his first win on the road in Cincinnati. I'm at the game watching it, and and Joe Flacco played great.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of fitting that the Jets have this miracle fourth quarter comeback, after the news of Nick Mangold, and it was shocking. I mean, it's such a difficult team to figure out, and I guess, bad teams are tough teams to figure out. This was a defense that had gotten so much better, had played great for 2 weeks, and then was miserable yesterday. This was an offense that was the worst in football for several weeks, and here comes Justin Fields and Breece Hall just doing their thing, and they're scoring points in bunches in the fourth quarter. I mean, when the Jets, they were down multiple touchdowns. They were down 14 or 13 points.
Yep.
For it was 3 or 4 different scores that had them down 14 to 13 points.
And by the way, going for 2, going for it on fourth down in the first quarter?
Yeah.
I mean, where?
Well, that's why they need to play like that, because that's what Garrett Wilson was talking about at the end of the half that one time. I was like, what the hell are we doing here, man? At the time they were 0-5, and he goes, we're 0-5. Well, why are we playing safe? So I did like to see that. Just, let's play reckless and play just like we have nothing to lose, because we really don't have anything to lose.
Well, this is the Justin Fields that you saw week 1.
Yeah.
So now let's see, what are we going to see next week? What's going to happen next week? And, it does help to have a running game, and it also helps that the best defensive lineman for the Bengals didn't play in the second half, Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
And it's a difference. When he's not in there, they are lost. I mean, they just got ran over and ran through. And Justin played great. He made a couple plays on 2-point plays, and that 1 2-point play, like you're thinking, did that ball actually break the plane at the goal line? And I guess it did. And, it was just it was a fun game to watch. It wasn't fun if you were a defensive guy, that's for sure, because I think in some cases, and I got a text late last night, that defense was optional in a lot of these games, including the Packers and Steelers last night, who put up over 70 points.
Yeah. Also too with the defense, I do have to say, as I'm watching the end of this game, and the Jets go up by one, I'm like, well, we've seen this before, right? But here now we're going to see Joe Flacco take the Bengals down in field goal range and kick a field goal, and then they end up losing by 2, and that's just the way this is going to happen. But the defense, in that situation, in the prior possession, stepped up and made the plays they needed to in those critical moments late in the game.
Those last 2 possessions for the Bengals offense were not very good, and the Bengals had the lead and could have iced the game, and the Jets got them off the field. And that's when the Jets came back and scored, and then they held them again on their final drive. But it was, I'll tell you, I will say this, going to a Cincinnati game, and I haven't been there about 3 years. I mean, what they've done in downtown Cincinnati and how you get to these games, it is such a pleasure.
Yeah.
I mean, the stadium is amazing. Everybody's in black and orange. It is just an awesome experience. It's nothing like MetLife. That's all I could say. I was wondering, where are the best experiences in the NFL when it comes to, just where the stadium is, how easy it is to get to it, the things around the stadium to do, because it's right at the southern part of the city of Cincinnati, and it sits right on the river, and it's right next to the Great American Ballpark where the Reds play. And it is just such a beautiful day. It is such a pleasant experience.
Yeah, I mean, we don't
except when they lose.
Right. Well, sure. I mean, and we don't get a lot of those pleasant experiences going in and out of games, especially when it comes to football. And where we live on Long Island, it's damn near impossible to enjoy or have a pleasant experience going in and out of football games. But I saw a couple of posts out there. I don't know if you posted it yourself, but others did, of you having dinner with your nephew Randy and Bleach Butt,
yes,
and another man that we know. I'm not going to put. He's not as much of a hey, look at me type of guy, so he'll remain nameless.
Keep him on the down low.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was nice. You had a nice steak dinner with your nephew and Bleach Butt.
Yeah, I went to one of my favorite restaurants of all time, the Precinct Restaurant.
Ooh,
one of Jeff Ruby's premier steakhouses throughout the Midwest and South, and we had a great time. Had a nice private room. It was
looked like it.
Getting much better than that, man.
And Bleach Butt picked up the tab, I'm sure, right?
No.
He did not?
No, actually, Jeff Ruby picked up the tab.
Oh, look at that.
Which I was I was like, wow, because I get mad at him because my name's not on his menu.
Right.
He's got the steak Collinsworth. He's got the steak Burrow. He's got this. He's got that. So I took a picture, sent it to him and Chris. I guess I'm having a steak Collinsworth tonight, which I did. And but I also said, I can't get a steak. I can't get a crab cake. I can't get anything. What's going on here?
Yeah, crab cake would be perfect.
Yeah, you would think.
Something like that.
Something.
But the ceremony, everything went well?
Yeah, it was well, not everything went well. I mean, for me it did. I mean, and for
obviously
everybody
the game,
who was there.
But for the Bengals.
Yeah, but no, there was an issue with Corey Dillon. I don't know if you saw this on social media.
Oh, yes.
I'm not really sure what happened there. All I can tell you is every single guy that had been a part of what I had talked about 6 to 8 weeks ago with you, Ken Riley, Isaac Curtis, Willie Anderson, all basically thanked us for what we were talking about. And I got to say, the Bengals did the right thing by all of us.
Yeah.
And I had a great time. it was really, they made it easy for me. And I think most of my teammates had a great time. And then the unfortunate news hit that somehow, some way, Corey Dillon didn't get on his plane. So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and blame the Bengals for that. He may blame the Bengals for it, but I'm not going to do that because I actually saw the people that took care of all of this for us, handling all the logistics and everything, and most of every single one of them couldn't have been any nicer, any kinder, and couldn't have rolled out the red carpet anymore.
Yeah, it said, I guess you went to the social media. It said, just leaving LAX. Apparently, the Bengals made reservations for Ring of Honor, but didn't pay for the reservation. I'm totally disgusted and disappointed with this.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate that is.
F the
to be
Bengals.
Honest with you, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not sure how accurate that is.
Well, I mean,
there's something happened because Isaac Curtis came out of L.A., no problem. Yeah. I'm not sure where Ken Riley came from, but no problem. Willie Anderson came from Atlanta with no problem.
Yeah, so this seems like a Corey Dillon thing and not a Bengals thing.
That's what it feels like.
After it was a Bengals thing and you brought it up, and then they did the right thing.
And I was looking forward to seeing Court because I hadn't seen him, and I didn't go last year because I wasn't invited.
Right.
In a weird way. Whatever. We got that all worked out, but I was really looking forward to seeing him, and then that happened. That was really, I think everybody there was really disappointed that he, unfortunately, for whatever reason, didn't get on his plane.
But other than that, great times,
10,
memories, the whole deal.
An absolute 10 to see all my teammates and great guys and great people, and it was fun to watch Lamar Parrish and Dave Lapham go in, and of course Dave is.
It's got to be one of the most popular people in Bengals history.
Been there for over 50 years.
Yeah,
as a player and a broadcaster.
Right, exactly. I mean, and absolutely beloved by that fan base.
100%.